Welcome down to the Malted Man Cave. I'm your host, Ella.
And I'm Keith.
And tonight we're going back to Isla.
Alright guys, don't call children's services on me yet. My daughter, as obviously like every little kid these days, loves YouTube and she watches all of her shows and she knows that I have a YouTube channel. So she has been begging me like every day literally for the last year, I would say. And I was like, you know what, fine, I'm gonna let her do the intro. She's obviously not gonna have anything to do with the review, but she can do the intro and it literally made her day. So she knows very well that she will not be drinking until she's like 41 years old. And even then, she'll be drinking in moderation. We definitely talk about the importance of drinking in moderation in the Clark household. But tonight, as my beautiful daughter said, we're going to be going back to Isla down here in the Malted Man Cave. So big shout out to Mike for providing this bottle to the channel. Mike at Mike's Whiskey Reviews. If you're not subscribed to him, go check him out. He's a baller. He's single. He gets $800 bottles on the reg, and so I get to mooch off the scraps of his table. And so big shout out to Mike. Thanks, buddy. So tonight I'm going to be reviewing Lagavulin 19 years old cask strength whiskey, which was the 2019 Fèis Ìle bottling, which most people know once a year on Isla they have the Fèis Ìle, which is people come from all over the world, and typically all the different Isla distilleries, you know, they kind of put forth some of their really good juice. Everyone tries to get a hold of the Fèis Ìle bottlings from Bunnahabhain, Laphroaig, Ardbeg, you name it. They all put out just some amazing stuff. This beautiful whiskey comes in at 53.8% ABV and was personally selected by Ian MacArthur. Many of you guys know he's that eccentric looking, you know, short guy that's been working at Lagavulin for longer than I've been alive. I don't know what it's been, like 40, 50, 60 years. I'm not sure how old he is, but he's been there forever. And when I go there, I pray to goodness that when I get there, he is the one doing the tours. Because I've been told, I have it on good knowledge that if you get him, sometimes if he's in the right mood, he'll take you back and just open up these amazing, like 30-year-old, 40-year-old cask strength, you know, sherry, delicious Lagavulins that are just like, you know, it probably costs, you know, $100 for like one glass. But these particular casks were selected by Ian MacArthur. It says that the wood type is sherry treated American oak cask. So that means it is Corcus alba cask, American oak, that were probably just seasoned in sherry. I hope not. I hope these held really good sherry for a while, a couple years, but I'm worried that maybe it was only seasoned for 6 months to a year, but I don't know. Either way, it's an incredible whiskey, and it doesn't really matter because it's really good. So without further ado, let's get into some whiskey. Best sound in the world right there. Oh, it's going to be a big dram. Oh my gosh. It's very rare to actually get to taste old Lagavulins, and when you do, it is a treat. All right, let's get into this. On the nose. Oh. Immediately there's like this super slight ginger and cinnamon, slightest bit of chocolate, maybe milk chocolate. A little bitterness from the oak, burlap sack, vanilla candles, salted tangerine, salted mandarin oranges. You get a little bit. It's not super strong, but a little bit of that chicken noodle soup broth, that umami savoriness that I normally get with the Lagavulin 12, Lagavulin 8, and obviously other, you know, limited release bottlings. The bouillon cubes as well, a little bit more of that umami, but it's not super strong on this. It's just kind of in the background, just kind of subtly lurking in the background. You have to really kind of dig for it. Salty sugar cookies. Now this is rare. I don't normally get sugar cookies with Lagavulin. Normally that's something that's reserved for Brookladdies, Octomores, Port Charlottes, Springbank. Obviously, that's a note. You know, the underbaked sugar cookies that I almost get with every Springbank expression is what I love. So you guys already know this is probably going to be up there because I love that note. That sugar cookie dough. Salty sugar cookie dough note. A little bit of floral. Actually, a bit of floral. A little bit, a lot of bit. That's good. Just a delicious peat. Just like this bonfire, twiggy, but not super intense. Lagavulin, probably, it's in my top 2, top 3 types of peat. You know, normally it's Lagavulin, Springbank, Highland Park, and Brookladdy, you know, with all Port Charlotte, Octomore. Those are typically my 4 favorite distilleries as far as the type of peat. Now, obviously, there's a bunch of other distilleries that make amazing peated products, but I think those tend to be my favorite types of peat. And it's just there. And it's not, you know, smack in your face like an Ardbeg or a hardcore Lafroig. It's more subtle, more fruity. If you could have fruity peat, it's a fruity peat. But yet smoked, almost like beef brisket. Oh my goodness. Sootiness, almost like a Springbank. I don't think I've ever had Lagavulin before. This has a little soot, yeah. Amazing stuff. I could probably find another 10 notes in here, 20 notes. Little grape juice, like white grape juice or Chardonnay, white wine. Amazing stuff. But onto the palate. It's more oranges, more tangerines, mandarin oranges with the slightest bit of chocolate lurking in the background, and then that cinnamon, that nutmeg, that ginger really starts to pop out. Then after that, it's like the vanilla and the bonfire, soot, a little bit of that chicken noodle soup broth, umami and bouillon cube starts to come in with the peat. Just a delicious dram. Mike, thanks for sharing this with me, buddy. Burlap sack is there, that drying yet mouth-watering and drying all at the same time, kind of that Highland Park thing that you get with a lot of the older HP 18, 21, and 25. Vanilla candles, and then like domino sugar cubes, almost like sugar cubes like melted in water. It's a very, very sweet note. I'm surprised there's not a little bit more chocolate in there. Now, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I just thought there'd be a little bit more chocolate there with, you know, being exclusively sherry cask, which makes you think, you know, they probably weren't seasoned. They probably were seasoned and probably weren't in there. Probably wasn't a cask that held sherry for like 3, 4, or 5 years. Probably more of a short toe in the water, if you will, as Ralphie likes to say. It's freaking amazing, nonetheless. There's even more stuff coming up on the nose. Almost salty like Talisker. I'm surprised. Normally, Lagavulin doesn't get this salty. There's a note that I got with Talisker 18, which is You know, everyone's had Skittles, I would imagine, especially if you're in the States. But wild berry Skittles is kind of like berry delicious and like, I think more like bluish type fruit flavors. Raspberry, schnozberries. It's got kind of red and purple and blue type fruits, like artificial type fruits mixed with like a ton of salt in there. It's almost like wild berry Skittles. So this is almost more, you know, there's different type of sherry cask. This reminds me more of like the fruity sherry cask as opposed to like the chocolate, like the Glendronach, like the hardcore sherry cask. Yeah. That Domino sugar cube note, it literally tastes like sugar, guys. Sugar with umami mixed with bonfire, peat, and soot. Mixed with some vanilla candles. Truly, truly elegant and complex and beautiful whiskey. Amazing stuff. One of these days, I still do want to try a true, like, hardcore sherry bomb. Like, the type of cask that, like, you know, like the Glendronach single cask gets, or the Glendronach 21, or the, you know, the older Glendronach 18 Allardyce, the ones that are like 24, 25 years old. And I think the Lagavulin 25 is that. We're waiting on Mike to open that. Mike, we're waiting for you to open that. So, because I just think that a hardcore sherry, like a sherry bomb with Lagavulin, it has to probably be my favorite whiskey of all time. I mean, it just has to be. All right, on to the finish. Immediately, it's just so salty. Then you get a little of that umami, then that sooty bonfire smoke, then a little vanilla, salt again, and then there's a little of that hint of that. It's like chocolate mixed with wild berry Skittles, that red, you know, blue, purple type artificial fruits that you get a lot in candy. Oh man, it's long too. It's not short at all. Little bitterness from the wood, even a little floral like buttercups or daisies on the finish as well. Definitely a long finish, guys. It's not as intense as you would think. It kind of starts to thin out a little bit, but it starts out super thick and super long. I wonder if this is chill filter or not. I really hope they didn't do that. I'll look for it online. If I can find any information on the color and chill filtration, I'll put it there. I'm worried about it because of Diageo, but sometimes they don't too. So I will put it there in the information. But either way, guys, this is a 92 out of 100. Malted Man Cave, Mark, this is a 92 out of 100. Could go even higher. Fantastic stuff. If you can get a hold of this, I mean, don't spend $700, $800, $900 for it, but I'd spend $300, $400 if I had the money. Now, I don't have that kind of money, but I would if I had it. Fantastic whiskey. Just truly, truly incredible. 92 out of 100, maybe even could go higher than that. But Malted Man Cave approved. Go out and get this if you can find it, or you need to find friends like I have. Thank you, Mike. Thank you as always for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and remember, Scotch is definitely